Okay, so I'm doing a second video on the computer screen with Daisy's new website. Also, I want to compliment Daisy. When you do a search for Daisy air guns, it takes you right to their customer service link. You can go to FAQs, and that's right here. Let me show you that. So then you get in there, and that's pretty cool. It talks about what to do if your gun is jammed. So one thing I would say when I'm looking at this, what it says, we're going to get more into that, applies to, let's say, we're going to talk about the youth rifles today, like the 1910, where you can just cock the bolt and run a cleaning rod through there. With the Red Ryder, if you don't have a compressor and do it right, and then tap it out, then yeah, then you send it back in. But this is very cool, so I'm very happy that Daisy, when you do a search, it comes to customer service links there, so that's great. So let's go back to their rifles and come down to their youth rifles. That's where we want to focus this video on. So anyway, so the big news is, okay, so there's the buck. Now here's the big news. And that blue box there, we're going to get to that's like a special prize there. But, okay, so this is the big deal here. This is now the Daisy 840. Let me click on that so we can get... Okay, so the Daisy 840, and I know at least one shooting doctor out there and a couple other people that when you take a good look at that, you tell me if that's the Grizzly you know. But it's not the Grizzly, but it is the 840 now. So anyway, so this is exciting. I like to be proven right. Who doesn't like to be proven right? So let's just look at this. Okay. That is the 1910 with camo on it and a scope. I said in an early video that the 1910 could take out the Grizzly and retire it, and it did. For all the reasons I knew it could and should, Daisy went ahead and moved forward with this. Okay, so that is now the 840. And like I said, I know at least one shooting doctor is going to have something to say about that, especially when you look right there and tell me what that looks like. So anyway, I'm happy for Daisy. I give them stars across the board because there was 3 ways to measure the Grizzly, which is now not the 840. Grizzly's been retired. The Grizzly compared to the 1910 or this camo version, which is now the 840. So, okay, how is it as a BB gun, a pellet gun, and how easy is it to work on? And that can be for you or the warranty guys up at Daisy. It's a snap to work on. And if you know enough about it, the O-rings you get from Daisy are good. The O-rings you get from the store that are 70 hardness, nitrile, like the Dancos, are easily as good. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so let's take a look at this. The 1910 or an 840 in this case is we have just 2 O-rings in the pump tube and then 1 back here in your valve. So 3 SAE O-rings that you can get from Daisy. If you want to stock up on parts from this, you can get a valve, and while you're there, if you're ordering, get a bunch of O-rings. But yeah, those are SAE O-rings that Danco has you covered on that. So, but that's exciting. It's super easy to work on, a snap. And as a pellet gun, it was equal to the Grizzly. If we look at the loading port there, that's right there, is that it's not finicky. The Grizzly was a little finicky with pellets, and for just as a pellet gun, it was equal to the Grizzly. It was not finicky with pellets, and it's a lot easier to work on than the Grizzly. And the Grizzly wasn't that hard, but this is even easier. Okay, so that's the big news. So that is now the 840. I know some people are going to have some things to say about it, especially Grizzly fanatics, but I've worked on both those guns, and I got fast with the 1910 and the Grizzly, but this I know is a snap. I really believe that a 10-year-old showing the ropes could work on this. If you watch where the pointer goes, an O-ring here, an O-ring there, and an O-ring here under your valve. So number 7, number 11, and number 11 going by Danco standards, which, to be polite to Daisy, the Danco nitro O-rings, same hardness as they work in your gun, are at least as good. So again, if you're stocking up on parts and you're ordering the only thing you need from Daisy for this gun, the valve, maybe a trigger assembly, but definitely a valve, then you order a bunch of O-rings while you're there. But yeah, the point being is that this is a super easy gun to work on. That's for the shooter or the guys in the warranty department up there. That just helps make their life easier. But yeah, especially for the shooter. But okay, now let's go back to the youth. Okay, so we come back up here, sorry. And let's get back to the youth rifles. Okay. This will be a little longer video than the other one. Okay, so that's the big news. And the 1910 also is displayed now, which it wasn't before. I could tell they were trial ballooning the 1910. The 1910 is on there, but we don't need to look at it. It's just it looks just like, well, the 840. Now let's look under the surprise thing here. I want to go over this. This is a new offering they have, and so okay, hold on. All right. So for Red Ryder fanatics, which I've come to love my Red Ryder, I worked very hard on it. I had some early problems I got through. And so let's go over what this is. So it has a plastic lever, but I think we can all get over this because it is big. So if you have big hands, you're going to be much happier. Unlike some of the third-party levers, it's not too big. If we also look in there, they have a new Camo Stock, and it's plastic, but that's okay. It's going to be less likely to scratch and dent, unlike cheap wood. Daisy does have nice guns by their museum with extremely good woodwork, but they cost a lot more than this. And so the Camo Stock, the camo form in plastic, and the plastic lever, which is still good because a big hand's going to be happy there. And the big one for me is they went ahead and put that fiber optic sight on it. And I can tell you it's a better sight picture, great in bright daylight. You have like a laser on there, and you can have low light shooting ability. I can tell you it works in low light very, very well. So anyway, so that's the newest offering. So it's a kit, is a $4.99, but it's actually the $19.99. That looks a lot of fun. The price is obviously right. So if for guys that want to get into that, I'm happy with my Red Ryder. I have the fiber sight I put on it and a metal lever. But if you have big hands, and again, I think I give stars all the way across the board to Daisy for this one. This is a masterpiece, really. I'm just going to say the plastic stock, as long as it's good quality as the Daisy 880 stock, that basic good plastic, I've not had any problems with plastics from Daisy. I'll just leave it at that. We'll just say Daisy has good, strong plastics. That is a winner. I give stars all the way across the board for that, and definitely the price is right. And that's the kit. So anyway, the big story is, if we come back up here, the big story is definitely this guy right here. But let's go ahead and look at some others. Okay, and there it is. The 1910 is now listed on there, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so there it is. So let's bring it up here. There it is. So now it's finally listed on there, and the price is, well, it's good for what you're getting there. So also, I just want to make clear that the pellets like these, okay, look, oh geez, can you see that? All right, sorry about that. Okay, oh, there we go. Okay, oh, there we go. Good, perfect. Okay, the beam and hollow points, which are Chinese clones of the original ones from Germany, called the Excite hollow points. That's what they're called now. Those are the original German versions. Both of these shoot extremely well out of that model, the 1910 or the 840 as it is now called. And the new H&N Terminators really make this gun out in the field. It will surprise you how good it is. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And again, what I found out talking to my favorite shooting doctor and doing my own test, because I didn't take this gun head-to-head against the 880. It shoots with about 2 pumps, not 3. The 880 pulls away at 3 pumps, but at 2 pumps, hey, you know what? It's still, you only have to pump it once. It's very stealthy, great BB gun. And again, with the Chinese clones, so with the beam and hollow points, the Chinese versions of the original German ones, which you can definitely still buy, there's called Excite. That and the H&N Terminators shoot extremely well out of that. So anyway, so that's that on the youth rifle segment. I thought people would find it interesting. Okay, thank you. Yeah, hold on. Let me show you. I'll take one more look at that. Okay.